Yo, you're listening to not necessarily Negro News with his lordship. Stay tuned and always come back for more. What could I say? You know, this is his lordship. I mean, shall I say the
Would you be
same
able
old
to
stuff again?
recognize?
Is there anybody left who care about this cult or know anything about this cult? You know, I'm saying CULT. I know I got a Midwest accent, so some words are misunderstood. But anyway, yeah, blasphemy at its finest. I'm almost afraid to play this audio.
God. Would you be able to know God's spirit? Well, I think you wouldn't because you think it's gonna be this nigga.
Now, she just called the Lord the N-word. All right, and she's going to tell you that this is a false god, and just because of the image, that this is the wrong person, and blah, 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 blah. And I cannot believe that she can speak so blatantly, so bluntly about, you know, religion and God. But that's why she's in the place she's in. This is a total red flag. She has suffered so much while being in that cult. She has endured so much. Her baby is missing, but it happened in another country, so we don't know what happened. We only can take her word for it, and she was singing and dancing, and she was told how she should feel about it. And it's all on video. And her Lord is serving life plus 10 years, ex-stripper, paid escort, ex-males for male dancer. You know what I'm saying? Ex-intern for Wendy Williams. She's saying that guy who abused women and, false imprisonment and all that stuff and spread disease, that guy is the real Lord from this young lady here, who went to a very good college and had much potential until she met that guy.
Yeah. And that is the Antichrist. So don't get so confused.
I want to say, bless her heart, she should have stayed in school, But then again, I don't know. Maybe it's best that she remain isolated and be where she's at.
And when you look at the world today, around all of the cultures, all over the world, the most oppressed people, still to this day, is the African American people. Our identity was erased. It was literally through slavery and a genocide from our culture, our identity, our rituals, the way we lived. And we got stripped of that. And we had to adopt by force a new God. And we had 400 plus years of slavery. And slavery is still happening because of the prison system.
Let's say you're correct. Well, you're following another false god. And you're in a horrible situation as an adult, and you wasted probably 6 or 7 years with this false god who, I don't even want to go there, but yeah, explain that one, okay? Somebody come get your niece, daughter, sister, cousin, god daughter, god sister, something. Come get her, because this is not her body, but this is another member who supposedly have left and came back and left. But yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 left out of several, and they still brainwashed. Somebody come get her. Because I know she got family. I know there's even famous people in her family. She was going to a good school, so I'm not beating her while she's down, because she She don't feel that she's down, but at her age, she shouldn't be living in a room with other adults like they're in college or like they're a teenager. And she spent the best years of her life in that useless cult with that useless belief. And she's very talented. She can sing and dance. But she kind of sold her soul to this weirdo who she believed is the return of our dear Lord and Savior.
All these black men locked up at a high rate, and the black man around the world is public enemy number one. He cannot go nowhere without being side-eyed or so it's already been written that God will come of his people, come from his people, and still they will not recognize him. Now you have to ask yourself this next question. If God was to return, what kind of people would God return to? And when you look at the world today, around all of the cultures, all over the world, the most oppressed people, still to this day, is the African American people. Our identity was erased. It was literally through slavery and a genocide from our culture, our identity, our rituals, the way we lived. And we got stripped of that. And we had to adopt by force a new God. And we had 400 plus years of slavery. And slavery is still happening because of the prison system.
Thank you, Sister Soldier, for pointing all this out. Is this some new information that we all don't know? And why she's using ChatGPT to say things that she should already know? This is what kills me. They have this knowledge, but they tell you to go watch the video because they can't explain it. You know, they master teacher taught them this knowledge, but they're broke. You know, like Heaven's Gate was $250,000 strong. They could afford to buy name brand tennis shoes and sweatsuits and get haircuts. They can afford to go to Mexico and get castrated. But this group called Carbonation, I didn't say their name at first because no need, but they broke. They're hustling on big old crumbs, you know, and the only way they're going to make some money if they start, you know, humiliating themselves. This is crazy. Okay, Sister Soldier.
All these black men locked up at a high rate, and the black man around the world is public enemy number one. He cannot go nowhere without being side-eyed or purse clutched. You see a dark melanated man, you are subconsciously programmed to think that is bad or ugly or a gangster or thug. It's a negative connotation when you think of a dark-skinned black male.
But your leader didn't even want a dark-skinned woman. Your leader actually preferred a light-skinned male with soft hair, soft-spoken. That's your leader. That's your God. That's your Lord. That's the guy that you follow, who's in jail serving life plus 10 years, and you're still being loyal to somebody who's never getting out.
And that's been proven evident when you see children doing the doll experiment. There is a high rate in our community of all over the country, especially Africa, where skin bleaching is very popular because they're trying to emulate the European woman.
It's 2025. Okay, 2025. And people have wrote books like Sister Soldier, you know, like Frances Quest Wilson and whatever, Maya Angelou. I can go down the list. Condoleezza Rice, Michelle Obama. Where your book at?
So due to this colonization of the Europeans portraying Christ to be fair-skinned, narrow-nosed, long stringy hair. We got so far removed and so far away from seeing God as ourselves. When God comes through our own being, our own community, we deny him. So you're missing the actual Christ by thinking in your head that the image of Christ or the even action of Christ or how Christ is going to come is going to look like this.
PPP fraud, welfare fraud, military disability fraud, lying to people about home ownership, taking people's college fund. Man, I could just go down the list. Keeping people from having protection, keeping people from taking their blood pressure medicine and heart medicine, mystery people missing, babies aborted, abortion pills mixed with wine. Efaru said she drank some wine. They gave her some pills. And they said like it's nothing, like it's this routine. And using the bathroom outdoors by a tree. You know, the one place in Palenque, Mexico, they had to consider it a hazardous site and shut it down because they were squatting in foreign Airbnbs. And I've been to many countries. I don't know what she's talking about. I was treated like a king. I only visit rich nations. I was treated like a king. They go to poor nations and they ignore the people and don't learn the language and all kind of stuff. It's so disrespectful. And this level of blasphemy, I just hate to see what the future holds. But God bless this child, the real God, and somebody help this child. So speaking of Africa, I'm really digging that Afro pop. That Afro pop and the dance and that style of music that's popular right now. Those videos get 400 million views. Those Afro pop videos from Nigeria and stuff get so many views that YouTube don't even allow them to get monetized. They can't live in Africa and get monetized for their own videos that do an easy 200 to 400 million. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is nice.
He cannot go nowhere without being side-eyed or purse clutched. You see a dark melanated man, you are subconsciously programmed to think that is bad or ugly or a gangster or thug. It's a negative connotation when you think of a dark-skinned black male.
Let me tell you something, youngster. When I hang out with my dark-skinned homies with the waves, with the Murray waves in their hair, you know what I'm saying, that wear colors that I can't even wear, make everything look cool. When I hang out with my dark-skinned homies, I can't even get a chick. I can't even get, especially a mulatto or a light-skinned or a pale-looking chick or yellow, red bone, whatever, beige. I can't get nothing around my dark-skinned homies. So I don't know what you thinking about. When I want to catch me a light bright or whatever, because I don't look at the skin and stuff, I can't bring my dark-skinned homies with me because they sew it all up. So the world you live in and the world I live in is quite different. And when you do, meet your maker, they probably going to bypass the court and go straight to the lake. So hopefully you'll turn that ship around, okay?